G'day, it's Rob here again. Well, today I'm going to give the old Binks Bellows air compressor a service, 7.5 cubic foot, single cylinder Swedish BAB. Had it for ever. It's done a mighty job. And the service is basically check the oil, which I've already done, and drain it. Drain the water out the tank. That's the main thing. The tank and also the intercooler. Now, I've done a video on this in the past where I show you how to make an intercooler to go between the tank and the main, the primary water filter, which has got to be well away from the tank to work. So yeah, just get some old scrap water pipe and make up an intercooler as per my previous video, and I'll put a link to that at the very end of the video in the cards. So let's have a look at the intercooler. Right, you can see the intercooler there, that hunk of steel pipe going up the wall. It goes up the wall, pivot it up, right up, right up, right up, and then at the top it rolls over and it comes back down again, and it feeds out and it goes in there. There's the pipe there, it goes in there, and it goes in through the normal dew point water filter. That's it. So it's just basically a U-shaped piece of steel pipe, and you feed in midway on the right hand one from the tank. You get water, the air and the moisture goes up, moisture condenses out in the cold steel pipe using dew point, and then it comes down to a secondary trap. At the bottom of each pipe riser there's a collection point down there, and there's one there, and yeah, it's as simple can be. It's made out of junk, and really that's all you need. You really don't need a secondary filter at all. This will do basically everything you want as far as moisture is concerned anyway, but play safe, have at least one filter in the line. So let's drain the intercooler and see what comes out of it. Okay, so we've just drained the primary one, now we'll drain the secondary one. A bit came out, but not much really. So that's all water that would have gone into your water trap, but for the intercooler, which basically caught it all. Now if we look at the water trap, or water traps, we'll see that there's basically no water in any of them. Right, if we look at the regulator on the bench, this is the oil line, it's got an oiler. This is a Festo top quality unit. It's got an automatic drain on the bottom. Nothing. There's never been any liquid in there at all over all these years, because by the time the air gets to this particular water trap, it's already been dew point cleaned, and unless you go to refrigeration you won't get any better. So yeah, nothing in that one whatsoever, but that's the secondary filter. We'll look at the primary one on the compressor itself. Right, well here we have the line coming from the intercooler. That's between the primary dew point filter, water separator, which is a Schrader, and the compressor tank. So the intercooler's been taking out quite a bit of the moisture through the cold pipe system. It now goes into the Schrader, and then it goes through the main regulator out to the rest of the shop. So as you can see, she's dry as a bone. That's never ever been drained. It doesn't have to be, because basically by the time that air has gone through the intercooler, condenser, any moisture in the line coming from the tank, and there will be moisture in the tank, you can guarantee it, but it would have been separated out and caught by the plain cold steel water pipe intercooler separator. So basically I really don't need that at all. It does nothing, and that's the value of having an intercooler on your compressor. And as I've shown you, it's purely made up out of old scrap cold steel water pipe. We'll drain the tank and see what's in the tank. So there you go, look at that. Still coming out. This is why you should always drain your compressor tanks regularly. This was done about 3 months ago, and it gets fairly regularly used. So there you go. It shows you. I mean, if you were working in a workshop on a daily basis, you would, like, if you had a business, you would drain your tank every night. That's how it normally works. But at a home workshop, people don't drain them that regularly, and some people never drain them. So that is all from about 3 months collection. And you can see there's a lot of water there, and that is not going to do anything any good. If it goes through the air lines, a certain percentage of that will, because there'll be a certain amount of humidity in the tank, unless you've got a water trap well downstream so it can run at a cool temperature and actually work. Having a separator very close to the outlet won't do any good at all. So this is where an intercooler is a big thing. It makes a big difference. Basically, it does as good a job as you can expect. Well, there you go. I hope that gave you some idea of how well a basic cold steel intercooler works, and what it will do to preserve your air tools, take out nasty vapour which would otherwise possibly go through the whole system and come streaming out of your air tool relief port. If you ever see any sign of any moisture coming out of your air tool exhaust, you've got a problem. There shouldn't be anything, and it's a bad thing to get water through air tools, believe me. So anyway, that's it. Just a bit of a quick look at what I'm up to. Shows you what you can do out of junk, and yeah, basically it can be more effective than a commercial separator if you set it up correctly. Okay, that's it from me. See you next time. Cheers.